What up, what up, what up? I just wanted to try something different in the new year. So a new intro, but I'm gonna stick with my old one. Welcome to Film Study, an all-American podcast with Lexi. I'm Lexi, and you already know. At least 8 out of 10 of these episodes we're either gonna have Carmen and Armand. And Carmen is here tonight because we are giving you another edition of the Mailbag. We haven't done one in a couple months, so we thought, if we have a little bit of a break. We have just about a month, just under a month, until All American comes back and Homecoming premieres. So we were like, perfect time to do a Mailbag. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all of those things. Carmen, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, usually I try to put these in some sort of semblance of an order, but to be completely honest, I did not do that this time. So we just gonna answer these questions at random. First question. Do you think the angst during their build-up is what made Olivia so special? Carmen, you want to kick us off?
Nope. I'm following after you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I was not expecting this. I want to say the angst is, you know, I think it's a piece of what made them so special. I think the will they, won't they, and the weight that we got, uh, the weight that we got plus 3A, and seeing that tension before we saw what went down in Vegas, I think that was really, really well executed. I actually think 3A was close to perfection. Close. There were some things I want to change, but I think it was close to perfection as far as Spencer and Olivia. Just excellent build up between them, and so yeah, I think the angst played a part in it. And if I were to point to a piece that I think makes their build up so special, I would point to 301, just well executed, and you could feel the angst and you could feel the tension, and I thought that was really great storytelling. But I think the other half of that is, you know, Sam and Daniel just have amazing chemistry, and I think that's something that we saw since the pilot episode, and it's something that's continued between the two of them. So yeah, Sam and Daniel have great chemistry, and I think yeah, it's the angst, and yeah, I do have to give it to the writers too, because I don't think it's purely chemistry, and I don't think it's purely angst. I think it's a combination of the two. What about you, Carmen?
Do I think that that's what makes them special? No, not like special. I think like you said, the chemistry between the character is what everyone fell in love with it. Now, do I feel like it may have made the getting together that much great? Yeah, but not make them special. I think the characters, the chemistry, the way they relate to each other is what make them so special.
Yeah, I actually like that. I'm gonna add to my answer. I don't know how long this mailbag is gonna be. We haven't talked about All American in a while, so
We have it.
uh, yeah, I think to that point, it's also the characters. I think if you have a character like Olivia, who was so clearly um, not in a good place at the top of the series in the pilot
Hmm.
episode, and so clearly like a wallflower, and you have someone who's coming to a different world. I think combining those two types of characters also makes for a special connection. You know, someone who can see her, and someone who gets her, and who she feels comfortable with. Yeah, so I like that. I like that.
Yes, and let's just say like Olivia, every even the ones that we prefer her not to be paired up with, like she just bring it as a character, as in who she is. No, no, no
Shout
shade
out
to
Sam.
Spencer. Yes, like
Shout
of
out
course.
Sam.
Oh yeah, we know Daniel does it too, but I'm just saying like
Yeah, I
But
think
not on the
Sam.
level of Olivia. Not on the level of
Right.
Olivia.
I think Sam just has this. She has this sort of like infectious personality. And I think that really shines through in Olivia, particularly.
Agreed.
And I think Daniel is also hilarious and also a great actor. I just think Sam just has that. She's just very personable, and I think that comes through. So yeah, I get it. I'm actually gonna skip around here because I want to come back to that next question. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna skip this one and I'm gonna go to
We'll come back.
I'm reading them kind of verbatim, so bear with me. But I want to know if you think we're getting a season 5, and if you think Olivia will get pregnant this season or have pregnancy scares.
No.
No
No.
to season
Y'all
5 or
leave
no to pregnancy scares.
no to the pregnancy scares. Y'all leave Olivia ovaries alone. Everybody's keep trying to get her pregnant.
Yeah,
No,
I don't understand it. I don't
let them
understand
get
it.
her. Let them enjoy them. You know why y'all trying to get them children already? Like they already got kids. Didn't we see that last episode? Like they got kids already. She don't need to carry no babies right now.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
No time soon.
Oh, you were hyped to answer that one first.
Because I just don't know why they keep plotting on her ovaries. Leave her ovaries alone.
Yeah, I was gonna say a very strong yes and a very strong no on that one. I don't.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it. Yes, I think we're gonna get a season 5. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, a very strong yes for season 5 and a
Mhm.
very strong hail HAIL. No. Uh, the full stuff that falls from the sky on Olivia's pregnancy skin.
I'm done. Oh goodness. I'm done.
We will be clowning in this episode. What is something that you would like to see the writers explore more with certain characters during their college post high school era? That's a good question. I I think that they will, and this is something that I would also like to see, is Spencer going to the college level and realizing that it's not as easy as high school. And so we're very used to seeing him excel at football, right? Even when he had those, I don't even want to call it an injury, but for lack of a better word, injury with his arm numbness and everything like that, he still performed at a super high level, right? But what is Spencer James going to be like when everybody performs at a high level? And when everybody, and maybe even some people might be better than him, right? And so I want to see how he handles that, what his work ethic looks like. I don't think that we've gotten much of Spencer preparing for games since season 1. Do you know what I mean, Carmen?
Mhm. Yeah.
And so I want to see Spencer James preparing and really actually having to, not to say he doesn't work hard, but actually having to consistently work hard to perform at the top level. And obviously juggling things like that. So that's with Spencer. With Olivia, number one, before we even get to like what I want to see them do, I just want to know what Olivia wants to study, and that goes for Layla too if she ends up going to college. But yeah, I just want to know what their plans are because I still feel like we haven't gotten that from the women, and that's Patience included in that. Obviously, Coop is most likely not going to college, so yeah, with Patience, Olivia, and Layla, I would love to see just what they want to study in them at school because I feel like we don't get to see that and don't get to see much of their interests. Obviously, Olivia is doing the journalism thing, but that's an
Mhm.
internship, right? Is she going to study journalism? Like, where is this gonna go? Does she want to be a writer? Does she want to be an artist? I don't know. Um, and I do want to see late like we're very used to the music producer thing, but I want to see Layla honestly outside of the studio, if I'm being honest, and want to see the studious Layla back, and I want to see maybe Layla the writer back. So that's some things I want to see with that, and then Patience. I just want Patience to have a storyline. Period. Apart from
Agreed.
Coop.
Agreed. That was gonna be
So
mine. Yes.
literally, whatever they do with Patience, I just want to see something. and that's Jordan too. I I I feel like Jordan, and follow me with this train of logic though. I feel like Jordan has been struggling a lot, especially with sports and like constantly trying to prove himself. And so I do think that he's put in work. And so I want to see him, even if I don't think he's going to be like a starter per se, but I want to start to see him get some wins, right? I want to start to see him get maybe a first team rep here and there, and really like impressing the coaches, and you know, but in a way that's sort of different than we saw at that last combine that they put on. I felt like the way that they portrayed Jordan in that, with the whole what did he say? No, shake hands, right? I feel like that was very, very forced. But I want to see more of, Jordan, the guy that called his teammates when Spencer first moved to Beverly, right? That called the teammates over to Crenshaw and like getting to know Spencer and trying to bring him on the team. Like that's the type of Jordan I want to see in college. Um, I feel like that's most all of the main characters. So yeah. How about you, Carmen?
I agree with you with the patient thing. You already covered that. I would love to see patient have more of a storyline. I feel like her character has so much potential to, actually carry her own storyline. And with Coop, I want them to do something so great with Coop. I want her to blow up so big that she go on tour for a long time. Away, away, away from my patients. Away.
Okay.
Just let her blow up and go away. And I would love if Billy don't go to college with them. I don't want to see
I don't
Billy in
think he
college.
is.
I,
I don't
I
think
don't
he
want to see
is.
Billy get a job in college. I just don't want to see it. And I'm kind of scared that they are based off, the last one when they had him rethinking, So I'm hoping he don't go to college with them.
Saying
And
keep Billy away. Keep Billy away.
I would, what else I would like to see? I think everything else you covered. I agreed a lot with what you said, so you pretty much covered everything. Number
Got
one,
it.
Coop, go on tour for a long time. Go ahead.
Um. So. uh. Yeah. Next. These are. I'm excited because we got some homecoming questions. What is that's not the correct question. What do you expect from Cam now that he's a series regular on All American Homecoming?
Cam
Carmen?
being Cam, Cam being Cam. That is, I do not expect him to mature in no ways. Not as
Really? Not at all.
in season one of it. No, not season one of it. No, I don't. I don't. If he do, I would be shocked. So far, he has been Cam. Yeah, he have his little moments where we saw him can be more, but I mean, I don't know if I want him to be um
Ooh,
mature.
dang.
He's like, he gives that extra to the show. So like, of course, maybe one day grow his character, but I like
But
his
think
character.
about this, not to interrupt you, but think about this in the context of Homecoming rather than All American, which I think is going to be a different dynamic.
I want him to be that way on All American. I mean, on All American Homecoming too.
Funny.
I don't know. I don't know. I
I
I like
I I
him.
I like him too, and I think that we, like you said, we see moments and spots where he, is a really cool dude, and saw his friendship with Darnell. Obviously, saw him giving Spencer props um, in this season and stuff like that. So I like him, but I also think that he's a very good foil for different characters. I don't know how his dynamic would work now because we weren't introduced to the football team at Princeton, so we don't really know anybody in that specific world. So maybe it'll just be like athletes in general.
he is
Here you go.
he is
Maybe he'll be
definitely.
beefing with somebody in the tennis world or the baseball world. I
I'm
don't
about
know.
to say he is definitely gonna have problems with somebody because he's very cocky. His personality is just going to always draw conflict.
No, I agree. I just think it's funny because it's like not about strictly about football. So I don't know if
Hmm.
it'll. I think he's going to be the same, but I don't know if the conflict that he brings on the football field is going to hit the same way that it
You're
does.
so right. It's not just about
Um,
football, so it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna
and so I
be.
think that he will. I think that he will. He will grow. Um, yeah, I I don't know why I just stopped it there, but I do think he will grow. And obviously, I think that they're hinting at a relationship between him and, or at least a situationship. Mm. But yes, Keisha. So besides, him growing and maturing and maybe not being all about football, obviously we're gonna get to see his little romantic side as well, which will
Mm.
be interesting. And I feel like the next question is sort of on this same line, is how Keisha and Cam's dynamic will be.
Hmm.
First of all, let's get to that one. I think it's gonna be, like I said, I feel like it's gonna be a situationship that might turn into a relationship. Like I think they're gonna be very attracted to one another at first, and I think that's, we're gonna see that, and I think they're gonna break up. I don't think they're officially going to be together, to be honest, until maybe near the end of season one. But I do think that's gonna be a, they just be vibing. That's how I think their dynamic is gonna be. What about you?
I definitely don't see them dating. Based off the fact of the homecoming, the little homecoming we got before, and she was trying to make her, apparently trying to make her ex jealous, and now she's gonna be with Cam. I'm not sure if Keisha is one that stays in a relationship. So I
Right.
think her
Yeah.
and Cam gonna be on some hookup, type of vibes. Like
Right.
they
That's
hook
what I'm
up.
saying. Yeah, they're gonna be vibing. Like it's not gonna
Yeah, they gonna
be.
be
They're
on
not
some.
gonna be tied down.
Yes, but is if they end up growing feelings for each other, I think it's gonna be something definitely funny to watch. Um, because they said they're gonna be on some hookup type of mess. So
I just.
we'll see.
I
you
just
know,
thought of Keisha saying, "Who are the two sexies behind me?"
that's why I said Keisha don't seem like she stay in a stable relationship. Like she just
I
don't.
cannot get over that line. Which, by the way, congrats to All American on being nominated for three NAACP Image Awards, and
Okay.
one
Okay
of
then.
them was writing, outstanding writing for the Homecoming pilot. Um, and also shout out to Daniel Ezra, best supporting actor,
What's he
best supporting actor. I had to say that three times.
supporting
Um,
actor?
yeah, supporting actor. Yeah, I don't know, but and then the show, just for outstanding drama. I think, yeah, outstanding drama. So
Okay.
shout out to them, NK, Daniel, all
Congrats.
American team. Congrats to you. The two sexies behind the two sexies behind me. That is a NAACP Image Award winning line.
Oh
I said
goodness.
award winning. Am I speaking it into existence? That was an award
Come on.
nominated line. A nominated line. And so anyway, with that being said, they also asked, we're just clowning on this podcast. How will Simone and Thea's relationship be?
Simone who?
Thea.
Oh, the other tennis girl.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with their names like this now.
No, I know, but it's, yeah, the other tennis girl.
mm.
I'm gonna
Um.
say I think it's just, again, I think it's gonna be more of what we saw in the pilot. Like it's gonna seem like they're gonna butt heads, and I'm sure they will. But at the end of the day, like they said, Thea wants excellence, and so even if that means giving Simone tips and helping her out, she's gonna do that. So I think we're just gonna see a little bit of a twist on the classic, you know, girls going at it storyline.
So do you think it's okay? So with what's her name, Thea?
Hmm.
Okay. Do you think like she's going to be like competitive because like yes, she won't. excellent, but she probably also is known as the best. So you think there's gonna be some conflict there?
Yeah, no, I think so. And I
Yeah.
think that we saw that in the pilot, right? Of her sort of being like, who is this new girl on my
Mhm.
family's tennis court? Mm?
Oh.
But then I think that maybe her being willing to help might have a like sort of end of the rope thing when she
Mhm.
starts to see Simone actually succeeding. Because what we saw in the pilot was Simone struggling because she hadn't played tennis in a while.
Okay.
So maybe that's where the conflict will be. Is she's still gonna be like Thea wasn't like exactly welcoming, but she wasn't like screw you either. She was like giving
Yeah,
Thea
that's
these
why
little tips,
yeah,
and
that's
so maybe
why
it'll be a little bit more screw you as she actually starts to see Simone's talent.
yeah, that's why I don't have like a exact of what I think she would be because they can take her so many ways.
Yeah,
She can just be the nobody better than me, or she can be like, actually be hard on Simone, but because she want to see her grow.
right.
So we'll see.
Yeah, and I'm excited because, like I said, I think this is a twist on you know, a popular, um, yeah, just like a standard take is women fighting. So I think we're gonna get a twist on that. So here's something that these are a lot of questions about Jamone, Damone, Jordala. It's like a series of three questions on all of those all of those people, and I purposefully saved them to the end to say, we're talking about these topics just to make people aware. So first off, Jordan and Simone. If Jordan, do we think Jordan and Simone's relationship will last? If Damon and Simone will eventually get together, uh, yeah. So no, ultimately, I do not think Jordan and Simone's relationship will last. And yes, I do think Damon and Simone will eventually get together. Uh, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Absolutely don't think it's gonna last. I mean, the way that Homecoming is looking, I don't see it lasting. What was the one about the Damien Simone? What was the question?
If they're gonna get together.
Absolutely. Not right away, but absolutely.
Right.
If they
Right.
don't, I will be blown away with the writers. I will be blown away that they go a different direction. I will be shocked
Right.
if they don't get together.
Right. So there's a question that was asked, sort of similar questions in three different ways, and they all sort of have to do with if Simone and Jordan will break up. How do we think that's going to happen? Is Damon going to be involved? Is it going to be messy, etc.? Um, yeah, so those are the three questions. Sort of if they're going to break up, how the breakup will happen, and like I said, if it's going to be messy or not, and then like what's Damon's role going to be. So you want to take that?
Do I think they're gonna break up? As we said in the previous question, yes, we think they're gonna break up. Um, will it be messy? I hope not. Um, I hope it doesn't be messy. I don't want it to be messy, but we seen for season 3 that the writers can get messy, but I don't think we're gonna have that type of breakup this time. Do I think Damien is going to play a part in it? Yeah and no.
Damon.
That's not his name. What's his name?
Damon. You said
You know
Damien.
what Lexi said. So do I think he's gonna play a part in it? Yeah and no. Yeah, because we're definitely going to see the chemistry between him and Simone. But I do believe their breakup is going to have everything to do with the growing apart and the business, the Simone life getting busy and they don't have as much time for each other. I think the writer's going to go that route versus other people being the reason for the breakup.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, I almost think they're just naturally going to grow apart. And so, yes, Damon could be involved too. Yes, you know, he could figure out maybe that he has feelings for Layla or something, but I don't ultimately think that Damon and or Layla are going to be the cause of a breakup. I think it's just going to be that they drift. And maybe that's being sort of overly optimistic and hoping it won't be messy, but I just don't think that's
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna go
um
to. I like you said, maybe we're just hoping. I don't think it's gonna be the messy route. I think it's
but yeah, I just don't think that's NK's style.
what?
She doesn't really
Why you
or
keep
you
saying
you
that?
don't agree
Like you
with me
didn't
on
watch
that?
season 3.
But what I'm saying is, like, even though it was messy, right? It was messy in the nicest way possible, right? Like, Layla didn't know what had just gone down with Olivia until way after the fact, right? Their relationship was basically already over when she found out. Liv didn't come back. So it could have been
Definitely could
messier.
have been
Like, when
messier,
we
but it
think
was
of
messy.
messy,
It was messy.
it could have been messy. But I just don't. It was messy for 2 seconds. And then it was, you know, first things first, important things important. Olivia relapsed, so we have to deal with that. And so there was no sitting in the mess. So even if it is messy, I don't think there's gonna be a sitting in the mess
Okay,
type
so when you say
situation. You
messy,
know what
you
I mean?
mean messy amongst the character, not what we see as the viewers.
Yeah, yeah. So it's similar to Simone and Jordan, which we talked about extensively what we thought about that. But similar to Simone and Jordan, uh, people had several questions about Layla and Jordan. So I'm gonna list off the questions they have about Layla and Jordan. Are they in game? How do we think it's gonna play out? How do we want it to play out? Um, yeah, I think that's all of these questions can be summed up in that. Like, how do we think they're in game? How do we think it's going to play out, and how do we want to play out, especially with Simone um, and potentially Damon being a factor. Uh, I think that we answered the Simone and Damon being a factor. I think we said, like, right, that Jordan and Simone are going to break up, but that it's going to be more of a mutual thing than a messy thing.
Mhm.
And do I think they're in game? I kind of think it's too early to suggest that Layla and Jordan are in game. What are your thoughts on that question?
Of course they're in game. I don't care. It's early. Yes, they're in game. They're in game. They are in
We
game.
disagree on that. We disagree on that. I
It's
mean, I'm
okay.
not disagreeing that they are in game. I again, I'm uh being realistic on this and being like, I don't know yet for sure. As soon as they get their first kiss, I might have a different tune, but like until then,
I want what I want,
until
and
then,
it won't in game.
I'm gonna say it's a little bit too early. But I do think I'll say this: I think the writers have been setting them up for a very long time since the pilot. That's what I'll say.
I agree. I
Uh,
definitely agree.
so are Layla and Jordan in game? Maybe from me, and a yes from Carmen. Um, oh shoot, we missed this question. When do you think their first kiss will be? These
Woo!
are
At a
hard
coffee
questions.
shop
Oh, shut up.
after a almost not actual date at a coffee shop. They have their first kiss.
You're answering what do we want to play out, and Carmen is discussing the script that we have co-written together. So, spoiler alert for that script is that and their first kiss was not at a coffee shop, but it was a
I know I
coffee
had to
shop
fix it. I said
related.
after their non, not really supposed to happen date at the coffee shop,
You're really just giving away the details.
and he walks her home,
Are you serious?
and they're
You're
laughing,
so mad
and
at me for
boom, they
dropping those
kissing.
teasers. You're mad at me for dropping those
What do you
teasers.
mean?
So
This is
now
hypothetically. I have no idea what you're talking about. This is hypothetically. It just came to
you know
me in my
what? When
mind.
people keep asking me when I'm gonna release that, I'm like, maybe when I get to 1,000 subscribers, we'll release that.
Listen, it's
Um,
I don't know what Lexi talk about. It just came to my mind. I'm not sure what script you're
okay,
referring to. That's just the thoughts
sure.
that came to my mind. So no.
Sure. But yeah, when do I think their first kiss will be actually? I can't see their first kiss happening until close to the end of this season and or the first part of next season. Are you still gonna go with the coffee shop answer,
No,
Carmen?
it's gonna happen, right? So what's gonna happen is they go on these blind dates and end up with each other.
Shut
And
up.
then he walks her
Carmen.
home.
What is your real answer?
That's my answer. I said what I said. Boom. That
Okay.
it just
Well,
popped in
that's
my head that
Carmen's
way.
answer.
Yes.
That's Carmen's answer.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, bro. Okay. How do we think it's going to play out on the show?
I just gave my answer. I gave it.
No, like further. This is not about their first kiss anymore. It's just like how do we
Oh,
think
okay.
their relationship is going to play out on the show? I think that we that's a good question. I think that what we saw from the mid-season finale and really the episode before that too, um, is Jordan sort of constantly being able to read her and connect with her maybe when other people can't or don't. Um, and so I think that's gonna keep coming up, and I honestly think Layla might be a little bit frustrated um, once she starts to notice it, right? Because when it happens enough times, and she's just like, "What? What? Jordan, mind your business." So, and we already had a little bit of that, right? And so I
Hmm.
think it's just gonna frustrate her, and I don't think she's gonna know why. And so I think if we see something, I think it's going to come out in frustration and annoyance. And I'm actually going to go for both parties here, right? I know that Jordan is he's very soft with
Ain't he?
Layla, but he's very soft with Layla. But I think that they've known each other so long, and even though I don't think it's gonna none of this is going to be for any sort of long term thing. But I think they're going to get frustrated with each other because I think there's going to be tension there. And so, yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, I think that obviously they're going to start to develop some feelings and they're going to be frustrated by those feelings. So it might come out like frustrated with each other. But again, I don't think, just like we saw post the cabin episode, that that's not going to last long. They're going to be right on back to whispering and maybe some kisses. So, what about you?
I think due to them both coming out of a serious relationship they was in, that they're not gonna just jump back into another jump into one with each other. Um, you really want me to say my answer, Lexi?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a slow build up. I don't see Layla jumping into a relationship with Jordan so fast after, she just broke up with Spencer and he broke up with, Simone, even though she been broke up since so longer, it's still like they both don't need to jump into a relationship with each other this fast. So I vote like probably towards the end of the season or the beginning of next season, college. Um, but I definitely gonna think we're gonna continue to see their friendship play out more on screen.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
That's
Yeah, and I
better.
agree.
That's better, Lexi. That's better.
Whatsoever do you mean? I agree. I agree. The last question, not about Jordan and Layla or Simone and Jordan, but it's specifically about Layla, is, and I wanted to end on this question. Uh, why do I think Layla is a likable character? In parentheses, so people can stop hating on her. I mean, hey, if people want to hate on the character, I say let them hate on the character. But personally, I know that I like Layla because I think that she's not as bad I think as some people make her out to be. I think that yeah, I think she's made mistakes like any of the characters, but I think that, oftentimes the audience or a portion of the audience can hold her to her mistakes and not hold other characters to their mistakes. But I do think that she tries, and I think that she's a good friend, and I can elaborate on that, and I feel like I have elaborated on that. But yeah, I think that she's a good friend to a lot of people. Does she need to be better, specifically with Olivia? Yes. But I don't think she's just horrendous. Um, so yeah, that's why I think she's a likable character. And I also think over being likable, I think that she's relatable. So many people have struggled with depression, and that's something that that character went through. So many people feel like they have to put on a facade, and that's something that her character went through. So I think that she's, like I said, I think that she's relatable. And for me, looking into that character, she's had a rough go of it. Like if you really look at it, she hasn't had parents, right? And despite her living parents saying that he was going to be there for her, he just has not been there for her. And that's a really difficult thing to go through on top of losing a parent. So yeah, I think she's had a rough go of it, and she makes some mistakes, but I think deep down she has a good heart. That's my answer.
Okay, so why Layla is likable? She she's very caring. You know, she do her best to be there. Does it perfect all the time? No. She's flawed just like every other character on the show. And they say so people can stop hating on her. I think people are determined to hate her. I think it doesn't matter what how much good she do. They're going to wait for the moment where she don't do right to
Right.
jump down her neck. So,
Right. And it
you
doesn't
know,
matter what we say, to be honest.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Some people are determined to hate her, but it's like, and some people want to say she's such a bad friend to Olivia, but Olivia has her flaws in the friendship too. Before we even knew of the Spencer, like there's flaws. There's just flaws on both ends. That's why I just prefer the friendship not to be. But
I don't feel that same way, but go ahead.
yeah, you prefer the friendship to be. This is my if they do the friendship, I just want them to improve it. I want them to stop sending them through the same cycles of this bad behavior with each other, with
That I
each
agree
other,
with.
with
That's no,
each
that I'm
other.
saying I
No,
agree.
not
I
you. I'm saying
agree.
it for the ones that just want to act like Layla is the only
Oh.
flawed one in his friendship, like with each other. You know,
And can I add? Sorry, I'm gonna let you finish. No, because this you saying that just made me think of this. Is like just take a good hard look at all of the friendships on the show, even the ones that we think are good.
they all flawed.
They're
It's that
all
patience. It's
flawed.
that patience. I can't find a flaw in patience. I can't. Is patient flawed? Is she? As far as friendship,
Patience is flawed. Patience is flawed. I think that she,
friendship wise,
hi,
I don't think we have enough for her to
yeah,
have the evidence that she
yeah,
flawed
yeah.
friendship.
I'm not gonna say she's flawed friendship wise, but I think that she's flawed.
I don't know. I just meant friendship wise.
Like with her relationship with the coop. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
for yeah, everybody except patience has flaws when it comes to the friendship department.
agreed.
But sorry, I know you were still talking, so
No, I think I said everything. It's just that
okay.
she's have a lot of good qualities. Like she's she does. Like I don't want to go on a Layla rant, but she has a
Right,
lot of
no,
great.
but yeah,
Yeah, she does. She has a lot. Like she's been there with for Olivia when others wasn't. Like, but nobody remembers the moment. She was there for Spencer a couple times. Nobody gonna remember the moments. Like, let's not just remember her falling because y'all already know Spencer James is very flawed. Olivia has flaws. Asher, oh God.
Everybody on the show has.
Everybody. They just choose to like keep Layla's on display. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, and I think you know, I think that I can be, and not just I think, I know that I can be a Spencer and Olivia shipper and a Spencer and Olivia supporter, and I think that Olivia is still my favorite character, right? And I can still admit
Absolutely.
that yes, I like Layla. I don't think those two things have to be at odds with each other.
They don't. And anybody who think they do. So, okay, I'm back. Go ahead. I'm just tired of y'all coming for Layla.
I'm
I'm
tired
tired.
of it too, but at the end of the day, I guess why I said that too is I'm like don't let them hate her is because I mean at the end of the day people are gonna like who they like
Oh
and
yeah, they
dislike
definitely
who they
have their
dislike.
free choice. Absolutely. You like who you like,
Right.
you dislike who you like. Just it's just gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. So as I respect other people's opinions and who they like, respect me and who I like on the show. Yeah, those are our questions. This was a long mailbag. We'll see how long it ends up being. But yeah, like it was good conversations, covered a lot. Plus with the addition of homecoming. So thanks, Carmen. This was fun as always.
As always. Yes.
Keep sending your questions. We'll get it. We'll get to it probably in another month, whatever the next break is. Another 2 or 3 months. Yeah.
No, we're not gonna take that long to get to it. Don't listen to her. Just send your question in.
Thanks for listening to Film Study, an All American podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode.